I hope I would be audible. Can you please do let me know?
Yes, you are audible.
Oh, thanks, Richard. So, hello everyone. Once again, apologies for being a bit delay. There was some, I don't know why, how my system goes on some system updates type of stuff. So that's why that was taking time. So I welcome you all in the first orientation class of ATX. And so before I start this orientation session for today, as a feedback, can I ask you guys, like when you guys attempted, what's your ACCA exam status? So which papers you are done, which papers you are studying? Can I have feedback on these lines, please? Vivek, Richard, Amos, Moses. Hi, Moses. We just started.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Sorry, I was trying to monitor the time variance between Pakistan and UAE.
No worries, Moses. So again, I repeat my question. Okay, good to know this, Vivek. So are you done with SBR and SBL? Oh, that's nice. Nice. Uh, Noted, Vivek. Oh, that's good, Richard. Amos, can I have your feedback, please? Oh, very well noted. As a second feedback from your side, uh, can I ask when you guys attempted your TX exam? Just from my knowledge, and that's basically just to break the ice. Oh, 4 years, 3 years, exam never attempted. So, I was expecting the similar type of feedback, very honestly. And I like to just clarify a misconception, I would say. And the misconception is like someone, if not attempted TX, cannot attempt ATX. I completely did not agree with this feedback, with this comment. So I can tell you from my own experience, like there are some of the students who like 3 years, 4 years, even I know some of the students who attempted TX somewhat, let's say 5-6 years ago, and now they are attempting ATX. So it's not about when you attempted TX. So it's more of, or you attempted TX even at all or not. The more important thing is how you are going to take up your study, how you are going to take up your lectures, and these type of stuff. So with this, I am going to share my screen, just a sec, so that I can start the today's stuff. And let me turn on my laptop into a writing mode. So just one more second. I hope none of the setting got disturbed, right? I'm still audible? And you guys can see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Because I don't know why I can't see. Okay. So let me, last thing from the settings perspective. So we are here to study the ATX for December 2024 exam session. Sorry, December 2025 exam session. Okay, so this is our theme or the name of the session. In ATX, ATX syllabus is basically uh, divided into 3 areas. One is the pure taxation knowledge. Another one area is about financial management, and the third area is about ethics. Taxation, mainly our 90% of the time, not 90, in fact, 85% of the time practice will revolve around taxation. This financial management is not what we have studied either in FM or AFM financial management. The answer is no. Here, financial management, what we are referring is basically a very practical type of financial management. Let's say if I give you two options, pay tax today and save the penalty of, let's say, £100. Option two, you can pay tax 1 month later, but you will have to face a penalty of £100. You have the cash with you right now, right? Now, in this decision, one, you need to consider financial factors. One, you need to consider non-financial factors. Financial factors, what is the opportunity cost of, let's say, your tax liability today? So let's suppose you have a tax liability of 10,000, just hypothetical, £10,000. If you invest £10,000 for a month, let's say in a bank, how much you will get? If you are getting more than £100, then it would be financially beneficial to face the penalty, and you will be able to earn some more money. Net from a financial management perspective, you will be in a net gaining position. But imagine if you're getting less than £100 for a month after investing in a bank, then probably you are not in a better position, right? You will be ending up losing your money. So this is the financial factor. Non-financial factor, you would be put in blacklist, late taxpayer tag you will get. All these are non-financial factors. So this type of financial management we will be discussing over here. So this financial management includes tax planning. So approximately 10% of the time will be invested in this financial management. And ethics, I will be discussing with you guys about the ethics, like that's a one class discussion. what are the ethical considerations we should talk about, what are the ethical considerations we should consider. But important message which I want to convey in the first class is ethics in ATX is not new, or is it, or is not something which is different, right? Ethics is exactly same what we have studied. Ethics is exactly same what we have studied in, let's say, in our financial management. No, sorry. F1 paper, F8 paper, the ethics is same. So what ethics we studied over there? So basically the ethics which we studied, there are 5 fundamental ethical principles: integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence, and due care, professional behavior. The 5 components remain there. The threats to independence: familiarity threat, intermediation threat, self-interest threat, self-review threat, advocacy threat. All these things remains the same. What change over here is basically your capacity to think would change, because previously you guys were used to think of these factors in capacity of auditor. But now you are not supposed to consider this in capacity of auditor. Rather, you are supposed to consider this in capacity of tax advisor. You are supposed to consider these factors in capacity of tax consultants, tax partners. So how these ethical principles impact you as a tax consultant. So for example, if any politically exposed person, which we abbreviate as PEP, politically exposed person, came to you for tax advice, is there any ethical consideration which you should be aware of, or we should consider? So when we use the word consider, consider doesn't mean say no. Consider means take an informed decision. Think of it, think the pros, think the cons, and then decide. Like, we always take informed or considered decision. So that is the main agenda. That's first. Second, for example, I am a tax advisor of a company, okay? And let's say one director of that company approached me for the tax advice. I am a tax consultant at a company, and one of the director of the similar company of that company has approached me today for the tax advice. Do you guys feel any ethical consideration in this? Like if I'm advising a company for taxation matters and a director of similar company approached me for the tax advice. So is there any ethical consideration involved in your opinion? Like, can I have your feedback on these lines, please?
Can you come again with the question, please?
So the question is, let's say I am a tax advisor of a company, okay? One director of that company has approached me for tax advice. Okay, so is there any ethical consideration involved in this?
There could be conflict of interest.
Very good. What conflict of interest you can sense? Okay, Amos noted familiarity and conflict of interest you are referring. Vivek, what's your feedback? Familiarity and conflict of interest. So to be very honest, I'm not much commenting about familiarity, but conflict of interest, yes, for sure it exists. What is the conflict of interest over here? what conflict of interest do you guys foresee over here? So I'm not saying like there is no conflict of interest. I'm like, yes, there can be possible conflict of interest, but what could be the conflict of interest? Oh, that's very good, Vivek. Or it can be vice versa, like any advice to firm would not be in best interest of the director, or any advice, like you said, which is in the best interest of the director would not be in the best interest of the firm. Very true. I 100% agree. Uh, what can we do to minimize this? So both our clients, both are like, both have a commercial sense. So refer to another tax advisor, or what we can do is we can create some of the Chinese walls for that. Can we do that? Like create Chinese walls? So, Muses, Amos, I hope like that's not a new kind of conversation for you guys. You guys would be, oh, that's very good. Amos, very good. We should ensure full disclosure to both parties. And one more thing, like you guys are sharing your views, I can tell you one more thing, that we should take written consent from both the parties, right? Like we should take the consent for both the parties. Like you don't have any issue for us. We are tax advisor to the director. We are tax advisor to your firm. So, no one would be uh, in a position like we are not aware of. So that should be the thing, right? Oh, that's very good, Moses. Director should disclose this relationship as well. Very, very well covered, very well said. Fine. So, you know, like probably the objective of this last 5 to 10 minutes discussion is to make you clear, guys, like nothing is new from the ethics perspective. You guys can sense, you guys can answer, but the only what changed over here is uh, the capacity to think would change. Like previously, my capacity was uh, as auditor. Now it would be more of a tax consultant element, right? ATX paper, how this paper looks like. ATX paper is basically divided into two sections. ATX paper is basically divided into two sections. One is, let me write it in this way, section A, one is section B. In every section, uh, there are total marks, technical, and professional skills related marks, right? For section A, there will be one question, total of 50 marks, of which technical would be 40 and professional skills would be 10. Section B, two questions, one question 25 marks, another question 25 marks, technical 20, 20, 5 professional skills, 5 professional skills. As a result, total for this becomes 100, total for total, whereas total for technical is 80 and total for professional skills is 20. So few things. In this technical, 5 marks on ethics are included. So if you sense like 5 marks on ethics are included, it means within the technical marks, ethics is technical, but it's not a taxation related technical, right? So if I need to categorize it, the tax related marks are still only 75. Professional skills. So I can tell you like before 2 years back, these professional skills marks were 4 marks only previously. Now they are 20 marks. So even every one of you understand that even a single mark is important. Even a single mark is important. I'm not denying from it, but previously it was 4. Now it is 20. So now I hope you guys can sense the importance of this professional skills marks. How to get these 20 marks? So let me have some discussion on these professional skills. Basically, the professional skills marks are to demonstrate certain skills in the exam. One is communication, analysis and evaluation, skepticism, commercial acumen. I'm not going to talk about these skills today in a first go, let's say, in very much detail. Rather, I will be just giving you a high level idea of about these skills. Obviously, needless to say, all these skills, all these discussions will be discussed with you guys, not today. Somewhat towards the end of the session when you will be much able to understand it properly. But just to give you a high level idea, communication, how you are structuring your answer, what should be first, what should be second, what should be third. Uh, is your answer presented in a logical way? Is your argument uh, in a proper way? So these type of things, communication. Analysis and evaluation. What do you understand from analysis and evaluation? Any idea?
Analysis and evaluation, I think it has to do with how you present your facts based on the requirement of the question.
That's a good one. And I have one more feedback to, in fact, analyze the scenario, interpret the data to the question, balanced arguments with the conclusion. Very well arguments. Skepticism. Skepticism, I hope everyone understands the skepticism since you guys have attempted pass that audit and assurance exam. So you are very much familiar with this word. Skepticism means having a questioning mind. Like, at times, for example, if someone come to me for tax advice and he asks me, like, I'm not a tax expert, but one of my friend has some tax knowledge, and he was saying, or she was saying, like, in this type of situation, we can do it in this way or this way or this way. Are the views correct? So that is basically the skepticism which we need to apply. Okay, that is the skepticism which we need to apply. After this skepticism, like, what is factually right, what is factually wrong, these type of stuff are part of the skepticism. Commercial acumen. Commercial acumen is like, while advising on taxation related matters, do not only think of the taxation related matters, rather think of other factors as well, which can impact the decision. So for example, there can be some of the factors which are non-financial factors. You need to consider them as well. So like I was just referring few minutes ago, one option is to pay tax now and save the penalty, and another option is to pay tax later and face the penalty. What's the commercial lens to it? So it's not a taxation matter now. It is not only a taxation matter now, rather it now becomes the non-taxation matter. So where such matters came up, then you need to apply the commercial acumen as well. Okay, so commercial acumen means while taking decisions, while thinking, do not only focus on the taxation related issues, do consider a bigger picture, do consider a wider range of the picture. So that is the commercial acumen. Important thing is, in section A, all four skills will be examined. Like in the section A question, which is of 50 marks, 10 marks, all skills will be examined. In section B, any two skills will be examined in a question, and communication would not be so. If communication is not to be examined in section B, then it means I'm left with three skills to be examined in two questions of section B. And like I mentioned, that any two skills will be examined in a single question, right? So it means in any one skill will be examined twice in section B exam. Sorry. So I hope this point is clear. Like any one skill will be tested twice because section B, 2 questions. In 1 question, 2 skills will be examined. So in total, 4 skills will be examined in section B as well. But in section B, communication will not be tested. So it means out of these 3, any one will be tested twice in section B, right? Again, that's a very high level. I will share more guidance with you guys about how to grasp these professional marks, but not today. Somewhat towards end of the syllabus or somewhat in our second last from a syllabus perspective.
Please, I have a question, please.
Am I audible now?
Okay, yes. But
Yes, Moses, you were asking something, and I guess I was not like there was an issue on my end. Yes,
yes, I
please go
just
ahead.
want to be sure that I heard you well. You said that all other professional skill will be tested in all the section B, excluding communication skill that will not be tested in section B and C. I don't know, is that correct?
There is no section C.
Okay, sorry, section A and B, sorry.
Yeah, so in section A, all 4 skills will be examined. In section A, all 4 skills will be examined. In section B, these 3 would be examined. Okay. And then one question, there will be 2 skills. So any one skill will be tested twice. I hope no audio issue now. I hope it's still is perfectly fine, right? Okay. Revenue direct taxes. So revenue direct taxes are basically the ones which are levied upon the level of income of a person. So, sorry, that's the definition of direct taxes, which is levied upon income of a person. Now, income can be categorized, subdivided into two categories. Would be either income would be revenue direct income, or either it would be capital income. So revenue income is basically whatever you are earning on a day-to-day basis, on a regular basis, that's your revenue income. What is capital income? Any income which is like your one-off income, any income which you are getting today, not necessarily that you will get in future, that is your capital income. So generally, sale of non-current assets, type of transactions, your capital incomes are capital direct taxes, and your revenue incomes are part of your revenue direct taxes. Okay. The examples of revenue direct taxes are, income tax, corporation tax. Capital direct taxes examples include capital gains tax, abbreviated as CGT. Second, inheritance tax, IHT. Stamp taxes, and as part of indirect taxation, there is only one example, and I hope needless to mention, indirect taxes are the ones which are levied upon the level of income of the person. Indirect taxation are the ones which are levied upon the consumption of goods or services of a person. The more goods or service you consume, the more tax you have to pay. The less goods or service you consume, the less tax you will pay. So indirect taxation is something which is levied upon and the example of this thing is value added tax. Okay. These are the broad topics which you are very well aware of, and if not studied TX, then ideally this is the general broad dimensions of the taxes which we normally study. Obviously, income tax has a lot of much more details in it. Corporation tax has much more details in it. So at the moment, if I keep it high level, these are the broad areas. One thing which distinguish ATX from the TX is in every taxation, like be it income tax, be it corporation tax, be it capital gains, inheritance, VAT, in every aspect, we have a concept of overseas aspects. What is overseas aspect? So overseas aspect is basically if you have income uh, out of UK, out of your home country, then how it will be taxed. And I can tell you, this is one of the most favorite area of the examiner and mine as well. So that's one of the most important area. After this overseas aspects, one second most emphasized area, second most emphasized area throughout the taxation remains tax planning. My bad. So what is tax planning in your opinion? So tax planning is, like I was just referring, the financial management, and that remains one of the favorite area of the examiner, which is normally frequently asked in the exam. Okay. Any questions so far before I move forward? Noted with thanks, Vivek. Thanks, Richard.
I have a question, please.
Mhm.
When I look at in which order is it best to study the various topic in ATX? Because when I look at the video in the website, I have the CGT comes first, then we have the inherit tax, then the income tax. So is it suitable to study it in this order, or there are some topics that we should study first before we go to other topics?
Moses, probably this is something which I kept to discuss over here. So can I reserve your question till I move on to this page?
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks for the question, Moses. No question, right? So normally after looking into this, and normally a question came up is, sir, how much is ATX similar to TX? Like if we either not studied TX or we studied, let's say, like you guys said, 3 years or 4 years or 2 years ago, then what's the outcome for us? Let me answer that one, then I'll move forward. In ATX, approximately 65 to 70% is TX, and rest of the 30 to 35% areas are new. When I'm using the word new, I mean that was something which was not part of the TX. So new means the things which you will be studying for in ATX for the first time. Okay, so this you are aware, we just need to brush up. And those who got exemption for TX, obviously you have studied TX in your earlier any other studies, right? So that's why ACCA has granted you the exemption in the TX. So what we need to do is we need to learn it for those who not studied TX, and those who have studied TX, we need to revise it. Keep remember, all of the videos are with the assumption, like, primary target from the videos, from the lectures are the ones who not studied TX at all, or they studied and completely forgotten, because the average time, and I'm talking on realistic grounds, the average time for an student to study TX and after TX studying ATX, the time gap on average is like 2.5, 3 years, 2 to 3 years. So there are rare or minor cases where generally the students do it, let's say in 1 year time, or let's say within 1.5 years time. So general time is 2 to 3 years. And I don't know, good thing, bad thing, but the fact is TX has a bad tendency. Like once you are done with the exam, you forgot 50% of the things. Once your result is out and you pass with your TX exam, on the same day you forgot rest of the 50%. Like I can tell those who passed, they normally do not remember anything about the text. And that's, uh, the problem statement then becomes, the reason is, For financial accounting, for auditing, I don't know why. That remains auditing, that remains area of discussion always. But taxation, once done, it's normally not area of discussion for the students. So normally students forgot what they have studied in the TX. So again, the video lectures are designed with objective of a student, or keeping in mind a student who either doesn't study TX or studied long time ago, like he or she completely forgot the TX at the moment. So that's the thing which I want to highlight. Now, if I were to move forward, um, you guys have to cover, videos in a sequence which is available at portal, because while recording the videos, I keep in mind this is what we have covered, this is not what we have not covered. So I structured all of the lectures, all of the videos accordingly. Like I can tell you, while teaching physically in class, normal, for sure we are aware students haven't studied yet. So we start building their concepts in our own way, in our own direction, right? The similar thing goes for these ATX videos as well. So please do not move on to another topic. Let's say do not move on to topic 3 directly. Please go on with topic 1, then topic 2, then topic 3, then topic 4, then topic 5, then topic 6. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, which I personally believe is with the video lectures, with the video recordings, one of the important issue which I personally feel is lack of interaction or coordination with the students. So to overcome that, what I do always is we do a weekly query session and exam kit session. Weekly query session and exam kit session. So based on uh, the weekly, let me write here. Weekly queries plus exam kit session. And this is something which will also be recorded, and recordings will be shared with you as well. Okay. Now, so to discuss the queries, we need a planner to follow. So the planner consists of, let's say, 8 weeks. 8 weeks means roughly talking about 2 months to be precise. In week 1, let's suppose today is 13th. After week 1, which is like next Saturday, we will be having class. The agenda of that class would be capital gains tax. So your target should be that you guys have to complete capital gains tax by 20th September. So when we will meet on 20th September, first we will discuss about your queries. So for example, while watching the video, if you have any question, if anything on which you are not clear, you can raise in that weekly query session. It's not like you cannot raise it before that. You can raise it before that, but queries, I personally categorize queries into 2 categories. One category is a query which can be answered immediately, like, minor tweak, minor statement would work. But if there is some conceptual issue, conceptually anything not clear, then we can discuss it in our weekly query session. Okay. Once we are done with the query session, we will start our exam kit immediately after, like, let's say, after we are done with the query session. And for week 3, you guys are supposed to cover inheritance. Week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you look week 8, we will be discussing ethics, which I said that we will discuss in our live class. We will cover the text planning thing, which I said that we will cover in our live class. After this, then we will be having our revision classes, exam practice questions, all these type of stuffs. But one request remains with you guys. Please try to cover your weekly target, okay? Because if you do not cover your weekly target, and let me pick up the first week example for you guys. If you not covered capital gains tax by 20th September, then the weekly query session would not be fruitful for you. So let's suppose if anyone is asking a question from a topic which you haven't covered, then with all due respect, you will be effectively wasting your time rather than benefiting from that time. Okay. Same thing goes onwards. So I'm taking a pause for your questions, if any. And if no question, do let me know. Like no question, I'll move forward from here. By the way, one more thing. I saw a message pop up, but before that, class time would be 6:30 p.m. PKT. Thanks, Vivek, Moses, Amos, Richard, for your feedback. Being human, please, being human. If not feeling well or if there is anything due to which I'm not able to conduct your class on this day, which is always a Saturday, then automatically your class will be shifted on Sunday. So keep a cushion for, let's say, any one time. Like that would not be a regular feature. But if there is anything, I'll let you know guys in advance and I'll keep a class on Sunday then. So to ensure that at least we have a class on weekly basis, okay, where I will be asking you guys about your course recording, etc., etc. And it's not like you cannot go, let's say on week 1, you cannot go beyond this topic. So once this topic is done, move on to the next one. Mark my words. Oh, before marking my words, one more thing. Till this time, you guys are not advised to open up your exam kit at your own. Till this time, exam kit will only be solved, attempted with me in the live sessions. Till this time, you guys are not advised to attempt any of the exam kit question. Once you are done with this, then you should start doing the exam kit. So if you are done with your syllabus, let's say on 1st November, then you have a complete month to practice your exam kit. Okay. So the early you complete your syllabus, the more time will be with you for the practice. If you taking time to cover your syllabus, let's say, you will end up in having a very little time for the practice of exam kit. Okay. So I hope this message is also clear. Mm, there's nothing more in my mind to discuss. but still I'm thinking like, am I missing anything? You guys have any question you can ask? Oh, by the way, in the meanwhile, what will be our source of practice? Like that's normally a question. So by this time, exam kit is not available for you guys to practice. After this time, by this time, if you want more practice, please refer to the textbook and you can attempt examples, test your understandings, illustrations from the textbook. Anything further anyone want to ask? Because I really have nothing in my mind to discuss anything further. Okay, so let me answer. Textbook should be Kaplan or Study Hub, whatever suits you, whatever you are used to of. But if you are not used to of anything and you want to follow my preference, then my preference is for Kaplan. First. Second, Moses, lecture notes are available at your portal, both annotated and unannotated, both are available. So you just need to navigate at your portal and you will get the notes, annotated, unannotated, of every topic at your portal. And by the way, the PDFs which I will be using, or the questions which I will be solving with you guys in the live sessions, that PDFs will also be available to you guys, and I will share that PDF like this one with you guys via a shared folder, and I will share the link in the group. Mm. And by the way, last not the least, planner ends on 8th November. So it's not like after 8th November, I will be saying completely goodbye to you guys. The answer is no. We will remain in touch. I will still conduct your weekly class, but obviously that will be for the sake of practice at platform type of stuff, rather than doing, uh, rather than learning. So from my side, it would then be a completely practice session for you guys. Nothing much in my mind to discuss further. So if anyone has any question, happy to answer, happy to discuss, but nothing further from my side. So everyone, if any further question, please do let me know. If no question, then we are good to end for today as an introductory class for this session. So Richard, since there are 8 weeks I can see, so at least 8 questions from the exam kit, and it can be more subject to the availability of time. Bare minimum 1 question per week, but if time allows, we can attempt 2 questions as well. So it varies. So I can tell from my own experience, on average, it will be 12 questions from the exam kit, which we will be covering by this date. And like I said, after this date or from this date onwards, it's not like I don't know you, you don't know me. We will still keeping our classes, but after this particular 8 November, the more classes would be on the platform rather than attempting the papers questions normally on, let's say, a simple PDF or simple, let's say, on a paper or pen. So that will directly be on the CB practice platform. Oh, by the way, good question. Anything further? If no, then I can say goodbye to you guys for today.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Moses. Vivek, Amos, Richard.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, Richard. You're most welcome, Vivek, Amos. Thanks, guys, for today being with me. So see you guys on next Saturday. Please start your lectures uh, and please make your own schedule. How much time to give on a daily basis. You guys know your schedule the best. I'm not aware with anyone's schedule, anyone's commitment. Like, what's your job commitment? Are you a full-time student? Do you have a family to take care of as well? I really don't know these things. But I know one thing, that you are mature enough, you are in professional exams. So you need to make your study plan and to spare time for your studies. That's the last piece from my side for today. So if nothing further, we can disconnect today and we'll catch up, not catch up, like we will meet next week properly, formally in our proper first live query session. Okay. So being no more question, which I assume, thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice weekend ahead to you guys. See you on next Saturday. Thanks.